Earth, the birthplace of humanity, a great vessel of beauty, a blue marble harboring the most intricate and complex systems known to mankind. How can something so exquisite be misconceived so widespread and regularly? It is our goal and mission as diplomats of truth to declare unto all the veracity of our sure knowledge in this veiled conspiracy which leads away the minds of good men and women everywhere. Our call to the misled of this world. Join the Flat Earth Society. Earth is a flat disk, the only one in the known universe. The sun, moon, and planets all revolve around it. Gravity occurs due to the upward momentum and inertia of Earth, approximately 9.8 meters per second squared. With the North Pole in the center and the South Pole as the circumference, it is not only possible, but reasonable that the Earth is flat. I mean, just look at it, it's pretty flat. It has to be.
Good afternoon, I'm your host, Bellany Rosenbeck, and today I have the rare opportunity of interviewing George Irwin to the very first Facebook Live event for the Flat Earth Society.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. It's Dr. George Irwin.
Dr. George Irwin,
Yeah.
All right. So let's kick it off. So looking at the very first question we have for you today. So,
Okay.
Dr. Irwin,
Yeah.
this first question comes from a generic user. When you look through a telescope at any of the other planets for long enough, why are you able to see them and their moons clearly as round, with a shadow cast as a ball, has a shadow right in front of your eyes?
Well, that's quite simple. It's because all other planets and moons are round, except for ours. Earth is not considered a planet.
All right, so moving on, our next question comes from Dave Chappell, and he asks, please describe your explanation in what lens distortion is and how it works, especially to varying degrees of severity.
Okay, I'm not sure if I interpreted this correctly, but if I did, I think that for light to penetrate a lens, a small point of that light must be projected directly behind, like a sheet or something, once it's passed through it, and then the image will be distorted and upside down, of course. So I think I answered the question correctly.
All right, next question. It says, describe how it's possible that so many photos could be severely distorted by a regular lens so as to make a flat object look round, with parts of it fully behind other parts of it and not exposed to the camera, while objects adjacent to it are hardly distorted at all. Whew, that's a tough one.
Yeah, who said that one?
This comes from someone online alias of YT Minimet.
Okay, well, Mr. YT Minimet, or Mrs., I mean, it could be either one. I believe what you're saying is false. There is no evidence to support your claims, and therefore, I believe you should be discredited. It's our job as the Flat Earth Society to try to put forth evidence and actual measurements to support our claims, and frankly, you don't have any to support your claims. Does he have any to support his claims?
I can't
Find any. Okay. Next question, please.
All right. So the next one is a JT. Sorry, the wrong question. Jesse Spots.
Jesse Spots.
Jesse Spots. He asks, how do seasons occur? Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh.
How do seasons occur? And if we are not on a ball, actually tilted towards the center light and heat source, how does this work?
Well, this is a question we get a lot here at the Flat Earth Society, so I've already pre-drawn a diagram up here, and you guys have probably seen this when I flashed it up before. But this here shows the sun, and the sun is orbiting around the Earth.
Oh, this is the sun here?
Yes, that's the sun
okay.
there. And as you see, the sun will go in and out of the Earth at different points, therefore causing the seasons. So when it's closer, you have a warmer month, such as, let's say, late spring, summer, and like late fall, and it comes in and out. That's why we have fluctuating temperatures even within a season. So that can help support that.
Oh, okay.
You can find all these diagrams at our wiki page.
All right, so our next one comes from Scott Wallace. He asks, explain the tides and what causes them, if not gravity in orbit.
Oh, well, thank you for everybody who submitted your questions. These are important issues to get off the table, and it's important for us to show our point. Well, the tides are part of a phenomenon that are caused by gravity. This is the same phenomenon that causes the moon to be gravitationally locked to the Earth.
Ah, okay. Thank you, George. Our next one. most of these are just people berating your point of view. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've had to deal with these kind of people my entire life. So.
I'm sorry. All right, next one. Darren Nicholson. He says, why is it that we can see those satellites orbit us with the common telescope? And how do they lose direct line of sight if not dropping behind the curve of a round Earth?
Well, it's because they're in orbit, so instead of, let's say, rotating around this, let's say it's flat, they're rotating around this, so that's how you can lose sight of them.
All right, we'll have to cut this short. We don't have too much time left, George.
Okay.
So our next question is Stephen Johnson. He asks, if the Earth is not round and gravity does not exist, then what keeps us from losing our atmosphere and ocean?
The answer is simple, it's gravity.
Do you care to elaborate on that?
Next question. Okay.
All right. So this is the last one we have time for today.
Okay.
It's by James B. He asks, astronauts have been to space and claimed to have looked at an unmistakably round Earth. If you reject their photographic evidence, do you also claim that they are lying or delusional about what they have seen?
No, we're not saying that at all.
Thank you for joining us, George. That's all the time we have for today.
Shaq, what are you talking about?
The Earth is flat.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
yes,
not.
it is. I'm just saying, when I drive from Florida to New York, flat.
Right.
New York to Seattle,
It's
flat.
not flat.
Seattle down to LA, flat. LA back to
not
Florida, flat.
Okay, here's to get over.
I do not go up and down in a 360-degree
Are you
angle and
kidding
all
me?
that stuff about gravity. Have you looked outside of Atlanta lately and seen all these buildings? So you mean to tell me that China is under us?
So you spin, when you spin pizza dough, it kind of flattens out. Yeah. Gets wider in the middle. And so Earth, throughout its life, even when it formed, it was spinning. And it got a little wider at the equator than it does at the poles. So it's not actually a sphere. Not actually a sphere.
Now we turn to some eager young minds in the Flat Earth Society recreating the Bedford level experiment.
Yeah, dude, you ready for this?
So pumped! Let's do it! There, let's go!
Oh, let's go. He's right here. Oh, let's go.
Is it clear?
Okay,
Is it clear?
Okay, let's go. We gotta prove that it's flat. Is it flat? No. Okay, come on, let's go. Is it flat? Okay. Move your hand. It's flat!
It's flat!
Oh, wait. We gotta check it over there to see if it's curved.
Do it.
Whoa, let's go. Careful. You all good?
It's worth it for science!
Okay. It's flat!
It's flat!
Okay, let's go.
Now we turn to a testimonial of one young fellow who recently joined the Flat Earth Society.
Before the FES, I felt lost, alone, and excluded. I had an opinion and wanted to share it, but all I got were laughs and a significant amount of big-worded letters from people I would have liked to respond to, but I didn't know the fancy words they were using like circumference and hemisphere. But then, I found them. A group where my opinion was just as valid as anyone else's facts. A group where I didn't have to believe the vigorous and thorough tests and experiments conducted by hundreds of scientists for over 2,500 years. They're all just ignorant. This past year I had two goals: to help others see past the lies of the government and how to spell have correctly. If you ask me if I succeeded, I'll tell you I HAV. This one time, someone said that I probably had one IQ point for every year that I'd been alive. Now, I don't know what IQ points are, but I don't think this is right, because if you add up every year I've been alive, it's actually the same number as my age. Coincidence? I think not. It's because I'm special, or that's what my mom tells me at least. There's a power that comes from being in the Flat Earth Society, a power I hope to share with the rest of the world.